Hey, Steve Mignani here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a really cool 67 Chevelle SS 396 Tribute. But 1967, of course, you know, the Chevelle was in its final year on this styling cycle. It would become a shorter wheelbase car with a more Coke bottle shape in 1968. So if you like the original crisp, formal-bodied Chevelles, 1967 is the first or the final year for an example of one. Now up at the front we see here the SS emblem in the front, which means nothing but big block power. And I gotta love that, how in 1966 through 1970, if you saw that, you were talking big block power in a Chevelle. Before and after 1966 and 70, this could mean small block, but not here. Let's open the hood and see which of the engines are here. And yes, this is a big block Chevy. Now this is a tribute car. Now we know that because we go to the cowl tag and we see a 136, not a 138. The 8 would be the SS 396. So this was born a V8 Malibu, perhaps a 283, perhaps a 327, but not a big block. But you know what? That was then. This is now. And this is an Ironhead big block with an Edelbrock dual plane air gap intake manifold. And the air gap is all about how there's a space here underneath the plenum and the runners that allows air to circulate below the air fuel ports and carburetor, which helps it to stay cooler and denser. More conventional intake manifolds, that's all molded as one piece, and the oil splashes on the bottom of the plenum and can warm the intake charge. So an air gap manifold is a nice cherry on top of any engine. And speaking of on top, this is a Demon 4-barrel carburetor hiding in place here with a fuel pressure gauge. Good to see that. Some braided hoses. Good to see that. An inline filter from Jegs right down here, this billet aluminum piece. Okay, you get, clean fuel is good fuel, clearly. It has a serpentine belt drive up front. Good to see that right there with billet aluminum brackets. You'll never lose a pulley on these things. And back in the old days of V-belts, if you rev the engine too high, you could easily throw a belt and then your fan, your water pump, your alternator all stop functioning and the party is over. But that won't happen with a serpentine belt like that, a Gates type rib belt. Now this is also a power disc brake car up front. And because it has a bit of a hairy cam, it runs and drives fine, by the way. It does have a vacuum pump, this device here, and the canister, and these are items here that make sure that the vacuum booster functions no matter what RPM. If you're cruising or sitting in a stoplight, you don't wind up with a hard brake pedal, and the power brakes truly are assisted all the time. And nice heavy-duty aluminum radiator here with a pair of electric fans on the backside. Again, we get rid of the parasitic drag of a mechanical fan, and those electric fans are guaranteed to cool this motor down pretty much any old time you switch them on. This does have a thermostatic switch, so they turn on by themselves. No need for you to worry about that. Gotta love those hooker headers. And just a great example of a day 2 big block Chevy. And the yellow paint on the block is nicely keyed to the rest of the car. Nice custom touch. This would fit right into Carcraft magazine 2005. Very much up to date in that sense and still looks great. Front disc brakes in place. Behind the intro, I believe they're 16-inch radial tires. They're wide in the front, wider in the back. And again, being a Malibu, it does have side trim, which is correct. And in fact, kind of adds a bit of extra eyeball to an otherwise austere SS 396. So, you pick your design and go with it. Inside, a couple of aftermarket bucket seats, color keyed to the rest of the car to go with the black vinyl top. The front and back seats both done. The B&M shifter, it's a ratchet shifter. We'll notice that has first, second, third, and overdrive. So yep, there's a 700 R4 automatic under the floor, which is to say it has overdrive in top gear. The good news there is I believe first gear is a 306 ratio, which will be great for acceleration, whereas top gear is a 0.7 overdrive, which will cut RPMs on the highway and preserve fuel economy, engine longevity, and your sanity. It'll be nice, quiet, buzzing along at 1,800 RPM in the cruising lane instead of 3,000 RPM. So that's the beauty of overdrive. Got the full gauge package, a tachometer, temperature and fuel pressure, et cetera, et cetera. It's all there on display, no guessing. And around the tail of the car, the SS396 Illusion. Again, this is a V8 car, but not a big block, but the car doesn't know. It'll run just like a big block, because that's what it is. Here at the back, we have the blacked out tail panel with the SS logo in the center. Of course, dual exhaust, 10-bolt rear axle under the tail. And let's have a peek inside the trunk and see what we find here. Oops, wrong way, Steve. Oh, maybe not, hang on. This is where I do my tap dance. Oh, there we go, it's open. All right, yeah, pretty decent, steel trunk, all painted black. Now, Zolatone would be the correct treatment, but you know what? This is not a restoration, so it's not an issue. Gotta love it though, steel, all there. No signs of any kind of corrosion or poke through, nothing like that. So, pretty decent piece underneath in the back. So this will be a lot of fun. Big block power, 700 R4 automatic, power disc brakes up front, power steering, electric cooling fans, no need to worry in the Father's Day parade or whatever it might be with the car overheating. Pretty much ready to hit the road and run and drive. Modern wheels and tires for happy and safe highway cruising at 75, 80 miles per hour, keep up with the traffic. So it's a great example of a SS396 Tribute. And this car can be purchased with as little as 10% down, and High-Octane Classics does consider trade-ins, late models, hot rods, bikes, you name it, they'll consider it. And delivery is possible anywhere on the planet. That's not an exaggeration, it's a truth. And keep in mind too that High-Octane Classics has been in operation for about 15 years, and they're always looking to purchase collections, either 1 or 20 vehicles. If you have some cars you'd maybe want to trade in or sell, give High-Octane Classics a call at 508-859-4515. And High-Octane Classics is always looking for qualified sales and service professionals, folks to help join the team and bring these cars to the next level, and sometimes maintain them, do whatever it might take. They're always hiring people like that. So again, give them a call at 508-859-4515 and learn more about this 67 Chevelle SS396 Tribute. Check it out on the High-Octane Classics website.